How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Great. Like you, I'm just really trying to connect and on a deeper level.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Tommy told us that he wants us to move the process forward a little faster. I kind of zeroed in and focused on Alexis. And I'm like, haven't really had much, time to talk with her. Let's come over here and take a seat and chop it up for a little bit.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Pepper. You know what time it is. You know what time it is. The replay is good for you, baby. Listen, are you mad? You lean? Listen, you ain't got the minerals. Listen, you ain't got the minerals. Are you mad? You lean? Gay, listen, woo. Chile, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, you need to get out of the kitchen. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, you need to what? Get out the kitchen. Listen, we've got some hot tea for you today. We're going to be talking to you guys about Brent going forward. So, obviously the episode, I'm a bit late. Sorry guys, how other things I was doing. But I just wanted to talk to you about the Brent situation with the peaches and also with Iesha, I should say, and Alexis as well. So I said it from the beginning, Iesha was too aggressive with Brent. Now I said it in the first episode, kind of when I said that Iesha saw Brent and actually said, straight away from the bat, Brent, you're good looking, and she just kind of laid it on a bit thick and a bit aggressive, and didn't really give him time to really assimilate into the team. And so she already locked her horns in straight away and actually gave him no scope to actually feel the crowd a little bit. And that already boxed and cornered him. And unless a guy fully likes a girl straight away, that's a bad tactic. And the thing is, you don't know who likes you. You understand? Now, if it was me, I mean, Iesha isn't my particular type, but the body is definitely hooray. If Kimber said it to me, let's say Kimber, you know how I like Kimber, baby. If Kimber said it to me, then I would have been cool, innit? Because obviously she can be that aggressive because I also like her the same way. You can only be that aggressive when you that person's gonna like you the same way. Otherwise, this is gonna come off wrong. You understand? And so from the very jump, we've seen Iesha be very aggressive. I remember at one point she even mentioned like when she cut in with Angie and Brent, she cut in and said, I gotta take it. Somebody got to take the steering wheel and drive. And it's like,
You guys?
Sure.
Can you give me some water? I think the bartender left, huh? It's the end of the brunch, and I still have not talked to Brent, who I was feeling initially. So I'm just gonna take the wheel because he obviously need a driver sometimes.
No, you ain't. The moment you do that, when the person's not ready to be driven, you're causing issues. So she was like, I'm asking you out on a date. And he was like, okay, cool. And you can see that obviously he was thrown back by that. Why? Because what he's looking for is not a surface level attraction. What he's looking for is a deeper base level of attraction when it comes to dating. Yeah? I find that Brent is quite a deep thinker. I think he's got a lot of things that have happened to him, and I think he's seeking somebody that will allow him to go down the layers. Now, when he was speaking to Alexis, we'll go a bit more into that later on. But when he was speaking to Alexis, he was getting a bit of that conversation. When he was speaking to Angie, he was getting a bit of that conversation. And even when he was speaking to Iesha in the house, he was getting a bit of that conversation. What you see is that he likes these deep conversations. So when Iesha cut in across Angie and him, he was not pleased.
I'm asking you on a date.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're gonna do that. Let's do that.
And the reason why is because she was being overtly aggressive when he's not her man. Stop locking me off with other girls when I'm not your man. It's been early doors. Relax yourself. Do you get it? But and the thing is, because there is not a mutual amount of liking, they're not putting the same amount of energy into liking each other. So therefore, there's a disparity there. Do you get me? Now, oftentimes when women are that aggressive, there's nothing really wrong with it in the sense of the fact if it's the right guy. But most guys ain't liking that aggressiveness. You can play to get a guy, but you just need to strategically place yourself. That's what I call it. I say, you can always go out and want that guy. Don't get it twisted. And then you strategically place yourself so that he comes to you. Deep it. You know what I'm saying? And there's a difference because it tricks him thinking he has choice. You got to give him the matrix behavior. You got to make them think they have choice. You understand? You gotta make us guys think we have choice. That's why when people talk about Ruth and Boaz, they don't get it. Listen, Ruth strategically placed herself so Boaz would then make a move. She didn't make a move on Boaz. Boaz still made the move, but it was a strategic placement. You understand? So she wanted Boaz, but she just strategically put herself in a certain scenario so that there will be, the engagements. There will be that little bit of talkings. You know what I mean? And that's what, ladies, if you want that guy and you want to go after him, pursue him, that's what you should do. You don't necessarily need to go all the way. Listen, if a girl came up to me and I liked her and she came up to me, I'm not going to complain, don't get it twisted. But not every guy's like me. You understand? Most guys are not like me. So you got to be very, very careful. So we know straight away that Iesha had this. Unfortunately, she came across aggressive in wanting Brent. Now, let's fast forward, obviously, then to the actual, by the poolside and what actually happened, because it's quite interesting. So, just to break it down, it was interesting because, obviously, she was lying on him, right in his midriff area. It's quite an intimate position. It's almost like she's forcing the intimacy between them two, fostering it, making sure that she keeps close to him, and physically attaching herself to him so he knows what it is, right? Whether he was comfortable with that, that's another story. I couldn't really tell 100%, but it is what it is. So I think the first one that she was saying,
If you go, I'm like,
That's not true.
she said, "Oh, Brent, you haven't called me," in this little kiddie voice. Now, when a girl does something like that, "Oh, you haven't really called me," what she's trying to do is avoid an argument, but she wants to let you know this is serious. Yeah? Like, she's putting that kiddie voice on because what she doesn't want is you to think that it's deep, but it is deep. You understand? Like, she's trying to make it as if, like, what she doesn't want to do is for it to backfire on her and for it to become a big-ass thing. It should be a case of, look, I'm trying to let you know, it's a warning. Listen, you ain't really called me. Like, no, you ain't really called me lately, It's like a sweet kind of voice because what she's trying to denote is that, listen, Brent, the attention you've been giving me hasn't really been there. But again, who's driving the conversation? She is. So she's driving it, wanting something in from him, which he doesn't necessarily want to give. And this is the whole point. When you drive it, females, oftentimes when you drive it forward, if the man's not ready to give, he's not going to give. And most men aren't ready when the woman tries to push it because they want control. The whole point is that men want control. We want the power to choose. We want the power to be able to make a decision like that. So when you force that out of our hand, a lot of men are not comfortable. Whether that's right or wrong, that's irrespective. That's the way that men behave. And obviously, her kind of laying inside of his crotch area up to his chest, again, is the position of safety. Because she's a smaller girl too, so it's almost like she wants to feel safe in his presence. So she wants to make him feel like he's covering her. It's almost like, you're a big guy and you're covering me, and it's a sense of security. Yeah, that's why girls like guys with big shoulders. It's a psychological thing where it's like the big shoulders represents safety, represents somebody who can take care of you, who can protect you. Yeah, and it was quite a protective position, right? It's quite a close, intimate position where only somebody who really, you really got that intimacy where you be lying like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Because that automatically donates something straight away. Not necessarily sex, but a deep intimacy that you guys have. You have that connection, and I don't think they're there yet. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that her lying like that was trying to kind of force that intimacy that they don't necessarily have yet.
That's not true.
And obviously, once she mentioned about the calling, you notice that he was straight away defensive. And I'm sure he couldn't even breathe, bruv, at one point. I'm sure her lying on him, he couldn't breathe. Not because she's heavy, just because there's a weight on his chest. Bruv, I'm sure, look, there's certain positions that girls do, yeah. Us men are not happy, bruv. But we're just trying to keep the peace. And this looked like one of those positions, cuz straight away defensive and denied, obviously, her proposed allegation or a critique of the fact that he's not, showing that. And I think he even said, "I'm here now, isn't it? You got my attention now." And it's like, when someone said that consolation, "Oh, you got my attention now," that's a consolation, my guy. Like, he could have been like, "I'm sorry, my bad. You know what? Yeah, I've been off peak, you know what, blah, blah, blah." But he was not saying that because he's not sorry. He's not sorry about the situation. He wants breathing space, and she's not giving it to him. And so, and listen, and let me tell you something. He's never going to like her. never going to like her. And the reason being is because if he's not liking her now, he's not about to start liking her more because she gives him space. And the thing is, she can sense that. In fact, human beings do this all the time. You can sense it that the person's not going to give you what you want, but you pursue because they give you little shards of hope. He's giving her little shards of hope thinking that she's got a chance. She's not got a chance in hell. He is not going to commit to this girl. Yeah? Because men know instinctively from the beginning, from the jump. We know, man. We know. Trust me. We know. You know, she mentioned about as well who reaches to who out more.
Okay, what's the name of time?
I gotta go back and look, but.
So you wouldn't say that I reach out to you?
No. I mean, let me, you know, recalibrate and get some attention where attention is needed.
It's needed.
You got it right now.
Yeah, I do.
You got my undivided.
Yeah.
And she's obviously, again, forcing that issue about who reaches out to who more, you know, and again, it's just pursuing the fact that obviously, you know, that he's not contacting her, which means that there's a level of contact that she's not receiving that would be comfortable for her. Now that's interesting because we have to deep the situation, which is that without this communication, there's no fostering of real intimacy, and this is what she's trying to replicate by lying on him. It's the intimacy. Intimacy. You see, someone can sit on your lap, yeah, and there's no intimacy with that person. It can be a sexual vibe. Do you get me? But someone can sit on your lap, and it's an intimacy that's fostered because you have an intimacy that's emotional. You have a connection already that you two are fostering, and the sitting on the lap is just an additive or an external behavior that comes out of the intimacy. Do you get what I'm saying? And I believe her lying down on him like that was really to try and push that idea of intimacy, but they don't have it. That's why he's not responding the way he needs to respond outside of the poolside.
Very bad ending. It was restraining orders, the whole nine.
Wow.
To the point where basically me and the kids had to just lose everything so I can get away from that, you know?
I don't really open up or show aspects of my personality early on, but she shared with me situations that happened within her marriage. It kind of brought back some memories about my failed marriage.
I believe that he's conversational. I believe that obviously his love language is quality time conversation. And obviously they had a conversation previously. It was quite a deep conversation, but it was about their situation, right? Their previous situations. And I don't know. I just think to myself, you know, they made a great connection there, I thought. He was very... On the sofa, he sat far away. That was my only concern. My only concern when they were sitting on the sofa was that he was far away. And I feel like emotionally, he's not close to her. So that's going to represent in his physical. Yeah? Don't let the line on him fool you. I'll mention it again because I want you to understand that... that obviously, you know, because of his love language being, I believe, quality time conversations, the way to foster the intimacy and the closeness is to have a conversation. How do we know that? Well, watch what he does with Alexis. Alexis does not only sit close to him, but she's actually sitting on his lounge mat. And look how close they are. And see, that's the difference. Fostering intimacy that you like. And when you attract somebody, that's what you do. You close the space. Now, she, you know, when Iesha has to mention that, you know, and listen, she mentions obviously, I got
like this. You ain't going nowhere. You know, I got the lock on you. So I'm like, okay, now look. Everybody, look. Don't come over here.
But you notice that she has to sit up at that point, right? And then she's saying, obviously, I got you locked down like this. Now, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy saying that, you know, if you got up, you've not gotten locked down emotionally. You've not gotten locked down commitment-wise. You've not gotten locked down anywhere. It's only the fact that you've got him physically today in front, got him physically today and you're sitting on him. That's why he's still there. Iesha said it herself, and a lot of people do this. You self-prophesy in the sense of you can see the situation is not going the way you want it to go. You know, and it's not going your way, but there's a hope in there. There's just like this little hope in you that you're hoping this person will finally see you for you, but they're not going to see you for you. They didn't see it in the beginning, they ain't seen it in the end. Do you understand? So, like, what she does, she sits up and says, obviously, I've got locksmith on you, and even Iesha clock jumps in and actually, you know, adds chimes in as well. But the truth of the matter is, you know, Iesha's saying the truth, which is only because you're here now are you locked down. And so you have to watch out for yourself. What do you say? Because what you say oftentimes is the truth. You know what I'm saying? Some of you are self-prophesying, and then you don't want to listen to the prophecy. What do you think's going to happen? And I think when she sat up also as well, the cuteness had gone. So the forcing of the intimacy had actually finished. And now it was no longer cute. Yeah? And that's why she sat up. You know, I'm talking about, obviously, I got to lock you down, etc. That forced intimacy is not working anymore. Yeah? Because she's not getting a response that she needs from Brent. She was not getting the conversation, the answers that she needs from Brent. So I believe that she sat up at that point. Again, it's just trying to, I'm sitting on you. It's to assert again that you can't go nowhere. I've got you locked. But darling, you can sit on him all you want, but you ain't got him locked. You understand? You ain't.
If I'm feeling you, you're gonna know. And I wanted to let Brent know, like, look, you see this body. You see what I'm working with. It's time to get to the next step.
You know what? Unfortunately, Iesha, your body counts for very little. Because his love language is quality time conversations. So you got to catch him on the emotional level of conversation. That's what's going to make him that. But he's not even willing to speak on that level with you as his love language. Therefore, game over. It's done. It's done. The guy, his love language is quality time conversations, but you can't catch him on the quality conversations. You're not having a conversation because he doesn't want to talk to you. Yeah? He wants his space. Yeah? Look, if that's the case, then guess what? You're not going to get him. And this is what I'm saying about ladies need to pay attention because, like, the very thing that he's doing, like, right now, that I need my space kind of thing. Listen, when you start saying you need your space, it's the beginning of the end. When people say, like, I'm enjoying my space, it's the beginning of the end. You understand? That's not all relationships, but a lot of them, it's the beginning of the end. Most people don't need space. What they want is a break from you. It's as simple as it is. Do you know what I mean? That's what I've learned from people. That's often what I've learned from people. I may be wrong. Maybe you've got a different opinion. Comment down below. And obviously, at the end, he then mentions, obviously, he don't like to be pushed, right? And that just confirms the fact that Iesha's doing a bit too much. She's just trying to lock him down. She wants to hold him down, but he is unwilling to be held down. So, that was no surprise that Iesha obviously left at the end of that episode. It was no surprise that it didn't work out either because he was never going to be a type to be pushed around. But that started from the very beginning. She was too aggressive. Too aggressive.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. Great. Like you, I'm just really trying to connect and on a deeper level.
I think it's so interesting because, like I said, Alexis is such an interesting prospect. She's playing the game correctly. Because in this dating game, you can't play it fairly if someone else is not playing it fairly. If you see someone moving on with someone else, you also got to move on with someone else. Don't put your trust in anybody. They're all... So, with the Brent and Alexis situation, it was interesting because, first of all, there was no levels. So when you saw with, Brent and Iesha, there was levels because she was looking up. He was looking down, right? But when you see, obviously, Brent and Alexis, she meets him at the halfway point. They're both sitting in a similar position on the bench, on the sunbed bench, whatever, and their eyes are locked at the same eye level. The only difference is Brent's got his glasses on, which he didn't have with Iesha originally. And I think, again, that's to hide the emotions of what's in his eyes. That's to hide the true story of Brent. Do you understand? Because you were sitting there without glasses previously. How come all of a sudden now you got the glasses on? Do you get me? So maybe because of the sunlight, it may be. But what I do know is obviously that they met at the middle in terms of the levels. Their eyes were connecting. There was a connection that was happening at that point in time. And I believe that Alexis is very smart. She's mirroring. So she's mirroring his body language and just meeting him at his level. Again, it's to kind of foster that attraction. Because obviously as well, she could have sat on a bench opposite and didn't have to sit on the same bench as him. But what she did by coming to meet him was obviously coming into your space. You see, Iesha wanted to do that, come into your space, but it was aggressive. Alexis did it, and it's not aggressive. Reason why is because of just who Alexis is. She oozes confidence and sexiness and sassiness. And you know what? She's not even really my type. But sometimes when I see her in the cutscenes with that blue dress, I'm like, God damn. Alexis, you looking fine with the hair tucked up, down, don't do it, girl, don't do it. But the way she plays the game, the way she understands how to play the game, her coming sit on his bench, it's like I'm coming to meet you at your level, yeah, and I'm ready to play, yeah. Let's play some chess. Alright, and that's how she's done it, right? She's mirroring. And I think obviously, like I said, just to touch on the glasses again, it's also a way of safeguarding your emotions and safeguarding your heart. Because what happens is, you know, our connections are made through our eyes oftentimes, eye contact, yeah, as well as body language. And so a lot of our eye contact is often an indication of what we're thinking, what we're feeling, how we feel towards a person. We do a lot of that communication just with the eyes. So when your eyes are obscured and no longer can be seen, we no longer know the story of what you're trying to tell. We lose a lot of emotion actually from that. Like if you try to read his emotions, it's a bit off. You can't fully read it because the glasses are on. It was a safeguarding issue for sure. It was a safeguarding issue, and he could have taken it off, right? It's interesting as well because Alexis, the way she had her eyes trained on Brent. Now, if it might have been the sun, because it might have made her eyes squint a bit more than usual, but she really, you know, she gives very good eye contact, and I think that's the dangerous part of Alexis. The eye contact is often an indication of how much someone's interested in you, yeah? Like, when I say interested in what you're talking about. She's very good at giving eye contact. And the reason why a good eye contact also shows that one is listening. You understand? If I kept on looking at this, you're going to think, he's not paying attention. He just cares about his phone or what's on his phone. He doesn't really care about what conversation we're having. But if you watch her, even with Kerry and London previously, a lot of intense eye contact she's given. So what happens to the person who's talking? They feel like she's listening. You know what I'm saying? She didn't even say much. Yeah? She didn't say much. But, you know, what did you know, Brent say?
Who you can have some type of connection with. With Alexis, it was almost instant. Like, you know, I've known her for a couple of years, and the conversation flowed.
Gotta keep up.
Because she gave great eye contact, it sounded like she was actually really listening to him and giving him space to talk. And she may have been, but I'm just saying that's what great eye contact does. It gives the story that you potentially were really listening. And I don't know if you noticed as well, Brent then also said as well about what people assume about you. You know, as long as you're being you, don't worry about what people assume about you. And we've seen this before because we saw this in the date with London about that. So I don't know if he initiated the conversation about that or whether he said something or whether she's mentioned it. But evidently this come up a second time about, you know, intention. And I don't know if she's bringing it up in the sense of, because look, there's a game that you can play, right? Which is called mystery, yeah? Which is you create mystery about who you are. So it intrigues an individual to want to find out more about you. And I think Alexis might be employing this. Because this is a second conversation where she's employed that. It sounds like this is in the spectrum conversation that people don't really understand me. They don't really get me. Yeah. So what you're seeing is this. Number one, this is a very smart game if it is that she's known that. She's pretty already. So there's going to be attractiveness there. So there's already going to be a mystery there in terms of trying to find out who this girl is because she's pretty. But the second mystery that she adds is that people don't often misjudge me, and you know they don't often know who I really am. Now when she puts that kind of implication across, what happens to the man is he wants to be the special individual that will find out who this girl is, so that he can get the bragging rights to say, I'm the one that actually knew you and knew you best, or I got to know you, or you know, you told me something that you haven't told anybody else. It's a sense of bragging. So what she's doing is feeding the machine. Every time you're gonna say, "Oh, no one really, you know, people don't really understand me. I'm different to what people think I am." Da da da. That just breeds mystery, and what happens is the male ego wants to be the one that uncovers the mystery. We lack an adventure, and that's what she's given them. Such a smart play.
Differently, I mean, the list is long of things that I would have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to go through that to learn something.
Absolutely.
You know?
There's a lesson. Every connection that we make with people, you know, there's a lesson there.
Yeah. And obviously I want you to notice as well with her, you know, that the mirroring that she's doing is not only in the eye contact, it's in the humming, in the and the nodding of the head. So it's again just showing that she's actually listening to the individual. And that made, obviously, I guess, Brent feel valued because, like I said, what he's looking for is someone who's deep. You know what I'm saying? Someone who's going to be able to have a conversation with him. I don't know if Alexis is that person. I just feel like she knows what she's doing. She's playing it very smart, have as many guys after her to feed her ego, and also as well because it's a game. And that's the simple truth. It is a game. You can't complain about it. You know, Alexis obviously said as well that she feels that he's compassionate. And yeah, Alexis said obviously that, you know, she feels like, you know, Brent's compassionate. And it reminded me of her saying that, you know, sincerity is attractive to her. And I feel like Brent is that type. And I feel like if she's not going to play the game and she actually wants to settle down with somebody, Brent is a perfect example of somebody like that. Because he's got the deepness. He's got the deepness. He's got the introvertedness that he wants to have a conversation but get to know you, and also as well he's got that air of mystery as well about him, because we don't really know much about Brent just yet. We just know that obviously he's quite quiet, you know, like in the sense of the things, he hasn't really spoken much, you know. He's a good looking guy, but we don't really know much about Brent, you understand? So I feel like that Brent is the kind of guy that you know, Alexis would need and would want, because of the way he acts and stuff. So yeah, that's also an interesting thing as well. And what was interesting, I think, was finally the hug. And the reason why is because I just see, obviously, that, you know, Alexis was paying attention. Look, you watched her body language. She's not slouching. She's upright. She's sitting face to face, eye on eye. They are mirroring each other, right? And then obviously then the high five and then the hug, right? If you watch the hug, it's an extended hug. It's not even like a hug that was quick. So there's definitely an attraction there, and I think there's also a chance for going below the surface in terms of their talks. How much so, we don't know, because like I said, I didn't see that with London when she was talking to him. I also didn't see her going deep either. But that may just because she's also protecting herself. She doesn't want to give herself away too much, because then that will give somebody too much access, and that can give her the chance to be hurt again. But for me, when I was watching them, I just saw Brent and Alexis, and I just saw the fact that she met him on the eye to eye level. You know, didn't sit on a separate bench, but sat on his. She's come to meet him. She's issued the game start. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting what's gonna happen next few weeks. We're gonna see, and then hopefully we'll be able to decide for the next few moves of Brent. But I definitely think he's got a chance for Alexis, definitely. Yeah. So guys, that was it. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. For those of you who are returnees, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen. Keep it locked, keep it loaded, you understand? A Madeline, a gege. Listen, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. Are you Madeline? Let's get on with it.